Today we're going to be learning about pressure pads, redstone dust and dispensers and fireworks. So we're going to make a little fireworks display. The idea of this is to light up our name in our project. So the first thing I'm going to do is click E for our inventory, and I'm actually going to look for some. I'm just going to take these first oat planks and I'm just going to pop them in here. Then I'm going to type in redstone. If I type in red, this will come up, and I want this one here, redstone dust. Now I want to type in pressure plate, so if I put in PRE, it'll come up. You can choose any one of these pressure plates, should probably work, but I'm just going to choose this one because it will stand out for its colour. It doesn't really matter which one you choose. And the last thing I want is a dispenser. So if I type in DIS, this one comes up, and this is a thing that can dispense items. Can be really useful. So I'm going to go out of, I also need fireworks. So let's get everything ready before we get started. So if I type in fire, then I've got a whole bunch of fireworks, and you see as I scroll along the different colors. So I'm going to get, let's get a white one, and let's get a orange one, and a red one. We could fill this up actually, but let's just get those for starters. So I'm going to build a platform, and I'm going to build it 3 wide. So I'm just going to place my blocks in here, 1, 2, 3, and let me move this way. I'll show you a quick way of making this. If I move backwards and place at the same time, it can be like setting blocks at speed. Takes a wee bit of practice, but okay. Now I have made my platform. I am going to set on top of this platform. I'm going to set a pressure plate. Put one here. So, yeah, I'm going to put one here. And put one here. Now I'm going to get my redstone dust and put it here, here, and here. And then opposite these, I'm going to put my dispensers. So I can use my little scroll wheel in the middle of my mouse to change my items, or I can use the numbers just by clicking on. So that's number 1, 2, 3, 4. My dispenser. Now when I place my dispenser, I want to be above my blocks looking down. That way the whole of the dispenser is facing up. That's what I want. Now let's place our fireworks in these dispensers. So if we right click on our dispenser, we can then drag our firework into the center of the dispenser. Let's drag all 64 into there. Right click on this one again and drag that one into there. And I'm going to drag that one in, let's see, the red one into that one. So what have we just made? If we hop up onto the stage and we walk over that, it's going to fire fireworks up in the air. You'll see what happens to the redstone dust when you walk over the pressure plate. It glows. Looking back, there we go. So Next thing we need to do is get our agent to actually activate these fireworks. So we're going to code our agent. If I press C on my keyboard and I click new project, let's call this, we could call it walking agent, something like that. Because we're going to create the agent to walk across our pressure plates. That is going to be the goal. Now you can take a tour of this. There's also tutorials that you can go to for your agent, but we're going to just go from here. And if I press play, nothing's going to happen, but let's just go out of this and you should see your agent somewhere. It should have appeared, although our agent's over there. Now I prepared this other one over here earlier on, so I've got a few more on here, and I have put the agent in this location. Now to know what that location is, you need to have your coordinates turned on, and that location, if you can see up on the top left hand side, you'll see my position and you'll see my agent's position. So the trick to setting your agent's position, you can do this with the code, but it is useful to just stand where you want your agent to be, and you'll see my position is now on the edge here. That is my agent's position. So I can find out the position where I want my agent by standing on it. So for instance, if I wanted my agent over here, on this one, I would stand on the edge here, and that would be the position I wanted my agent in. But let's go back to this one, and let's have a look at the code for this. So if I press C and I go into code, we're going to create the code that we need to run, make this agent run across our pressure pads. So what we're going to do, we don't need the on start button, so I'll drag that off. Firstly, we need to teleport the agent to where we want them. So if we click on agent here, we don't want to teleport it to us just yet. It's useful if you lose your agent, you want them back, but we're going to use this one, and we're going to pull that in and pop it here. Now I already know the position of the agent. I've already worked that out, but you'll have to work out the position of your agent. But it is important that when you put it in, and there's a group of blocks called positions in here, is that we use this world position. Otherwise, it's not going to go to where we want it. So I'm going to make that the world position, and I'm going to change the world position to 1 minus 59 and minus 5. And I want my agent to face the right way. At the moment, it's facing west. So if I'm not sure which way my agent is, I just press play. And then I'd type T for talking and type in run and enter. And now my agent it's on the spot, but it's facing the wrong direction. It's facing that way. And I want it facing the pressure pad. So I'm going to have to change the code. So click on C, go back here. Instead of facing west, I'm going to try facing south. You just have to try this to see which directions are what. That's the best way to do it. So I'm hoping I guessed right this time round. So if I click T and run, my agent should now be facing the right way. So it was a good guess. Now it's facing that way, which is south. Next, I'm going to go back to C again. I need to make my agent move, and I want it to go forwards and backwards. You can play around with this, which I did initially, but I've used some loops. And what I've done with my one, because I've counted the number of blocks, I've worked out it's got to move 9 blocks forward. And then I want it to move 9 blocks back. So I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to go to my agent. And I'm going to tell my agent to move forward by 1. I guess I could do this differently, actually. There's various ways I can do it. So I could ask my agent to move forward by 1 9 times, or perhaps I could just ask it to move 9 times. But I'm going to go with this logic at the moment. I'm going to duplicate that, pull that down to there, and I'm going to ask my agent to go backwards. So I'll change the forwards to backwards, and again just once because it's repeating 9 times. And then I'm going to repeat that whole thing 10 times. So it just keeps going back and forward, delivering the fireworks how I want it. And drag it all that code into this one and repeat it 10 times. So it's going to go forward, it's going to repeat forward once, so it's going to go forward by 9, and it's going to repeat 9 back once, so it's going to come back. Hopefully that will do the trick. So the idea is to get my agent to run up and down on the pressure pads, therefore sending the fireworks up into the air. Let's see how it works. So I'm just going to move back so I can see the effects of it. And let's see how it goes. Might even go up near a little bit. There we go. It's a better view. I'm going to click T and then RUN for run. There he goes. He's going up and down 10 times. Every time it goes over the pressure pad, he dispenses fireworks into the air, making pretty good display. And I guess you can have as many dispensers as you want, and you could place them maybe in front of your name, on top of your wall, in front of your wall. You can experiment around with where you want them and how you can place them.